football, babies.
Super wild card weekend. Boo. I hate super wild. Come on.
Super shitty.
Nice, right? Fucking nailed that one. Knocked it out of the park. I'm just going to go right down the line in chronological order as how we watch these games. Give me your thoughts on them. 49ers, 41. Seahawks, 23. An interesting game till, I don't know, midway through the third quarter. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. A lot of people are high in him. I don't think he had a great game, but the 49ers are stacked. And, that was the only real blowout of the weekend, really. And it wasn't even that big of a blowout, honestly. That first half was competitive. Thoughts?
The more they win, the less likelihood Tom Brady goes there, so I'm all for it. Keep going, Mr. Purdy.
You're against Brady going to San Francisco
Yes.
because you want him back in New England.
Yes.
Got it. Any thoughts on the NFC West showdown, Roberto?
The game, yeah. I mean, Purdy doesn't throw the ball more than 10 yards. He throws the ball to Kittle or Ayuk or Deebo Samuel, and then they just run around and get all the yards after that. I mean, their team is nasty. They probably have the best roster. So they're going to go. They're going to go the NFC title game, and they may go to the Super Bowl. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, Purdy's just.
Is he
doing what he needs to
Garoppolo
do.
light, or is he better than Garoppolo at this point?
I think
Purdy?
they're the same guy. I think he just has less experience.
I like his release. I don't know how much of an arm he has. I haven't watched much of him.
He's cocky. He's a cocky asshole.
Yeah, I think he's got
love
a
it.
little. I think he's got a little, certainly a chip on his shoulder. 199, pick 199, or whatever. What's irrelevant? Something.
256.
Two. Thank you. Are you sure? about that?
199 was Brady.
Positive.
199 was Brady. There you go. I knew that was in my brain for some reason. Next up on the docket, this one was
Whoop.
probably my favorite of the weekend.
Yeah.
Jags 31, Chargers 30. Fucking classic Chargers. We had this conversation, right? Biggest dumpster fires was our conversation, but the biggest loser franchise gotta be the Chargers. The way that they have lost and lose in such unbelievable fashion, just can't win when they should. It's got to be the Chargers.
Their team, from a general manager drafting perspective, they draft so well because they don't spend money on free agents because their owner's poor. So all these good teams that they get, they draft all these guys and get them in, but they're so cheap that they have the worst coaching staffs and they don't they don't get any free agents, but it just.
Except for JC Jackson.
I know.
How'd that one work out?
Terrible.
Is-
really quickly, though, they fired everyone but the head coach, which is hilarious because basically he put the blame on
It was their
everyone
fault,
else.
right?
No, that head coach is a boob, man. They're never going to win with him
He's
there.
terrible.
Well, Billy the Queen told us that they can't fire Staley because they don't have enough money to go pay another head coach. So you just fire all of his assistants and make his assistants come in and do better work. McVay did the same thing to himself, to scapegoated himself in with the Rams. Is Justin Herbert a loser?
Yep. I don't think he'll ever win there.
Kind of looking that way.
Yep.
Look, and Ray, please, you seem a little mundane tonight, so maybe this is the night to say it. If Justin Herbert went to Cincinnati, Cincinnati would be the Chargers now. Joe Burrow is that much better than Justin Herbert, not physically, but just in the way that he is dragging. We'll get to Cincinnati, dragging that shit rock of a franchise and the loserdom that comes with that franchise. Like you look at Joe Burrow and he's got enough moxie to drag him out of that. Justin Herbert doesn't. And if you're right, if Justin Herbert was on a different team in a different situation, he'd probably be excellent. There's just so much loser going on in the Chargers that it's hard for him to get out of there. What about Trevor Lawrence? Is he the real deal? 4 picks, comes back, leads his team to a win. How much do you credit the Chargers being losers and Lawrence being able to do that to him?
He's never lost on a Saturday either.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yep.
Does he want to know?
No. Saturdays, they plays college football on Saturdays. He's undefeated on Saturdays. All time.
College football.
Bobby does. Bobby will like that stat. Thank you
Yeah.
there. Thank
I
you.
like college football.
I know you do. So yeah.
Yeah, Lauren.
Tell
Is
us all
Lawrence
about
legit?
Saturdays, Bobby.
He was a number. He's got number one talent, but like I don't know if he's like. I just don't think he cares about football that much.
Doesn't look like he does. He does
It's
not look like a
Jacksonville,
football
it's
player.
Jacksonville. Come on.
I
You gotta
know.
give that. That's the whole thing too. They went out and signed Zay Jones. They got Evan Ingram, who wasn't going to be anything as a tight end, and the Giants. Who was the other guy they got?
Kirk,
Wide receiver from the Cardinals.
yeah,
Christian
Kirk. Yeah, Christian Kirk. I
Kirk.
mean, they went out there and signed all these guys to ridiculous money. I mean, he doesn't have like a true, like everyone's clamoring for Mac Jones to get this number one wide receiver. There's no number one wide receiver down there, and Trevor Lawrence is now in the divisional round. So say what you want about Trevor Lawrence, but
he is,
doing
but
it
he's
with
not
nothing around him.
He's not great shakes. I think if they weren't playing the Chargers, they lose that game. And yeah, he excellent talent, excellent athlete. He's in Jacksonville. Who knows? Who knows what?
Yeah,
Who knows what he
exactly.
is? I honestly don't know what he is. What I do know is with better coaching, he's in the divisional round. With a shit rock coach, they were two wins with Urban Meyer, 3 wins last year.
Urban
Coaching
Meyer
matters
was one
in
of
the
the
NFL.
worst coaches in NFL history.
Oh, when you're going to your own bar and getting handies from a
He
girl at the
might
bar,
be
I mean,
the worst
geez.
coach in NFL history.
And assault the kicker.
The
Mm.
brazen arrogance and just not giving a fuck by Urban Meyer almost has to be respected. If he wasn't such a if we didn't know he was such a shitty guy, like actual shitty human, you would almost respect it. But he sucks. Fuck Urban Meyer. He's a shit dude. He's a bad dude.
Yes. I can't wait for that 30 to 30 to come out on that guy. It's going to be a much watched TV.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. All right, let's get to this next one. This one was almost the best game of the weekend. Bills 34, Dolphins 31. If it wasn't for that Poindexter and his cool fucking aviator shades, McDaniel down there in Miami, trash Miami, been saying it for years. If it wasn't for him blowing the 4th and inches, whatever it was, multiple times, they tried to rush up to the. Let me just chronicle it for you, Bobby. I know you have a point. I can see you chomping at the bit. After the game. Well, here's what happened. They on a 3rd down got the completion, were short of the 1st down marker. They tried to run up and run a quick play. I don't remember why that didn't
Because
get off.
they were trying to get the challenge out. That's why they went and they false started it. So they couldn't challenge it. So there's a questionable catch on the sideline by, I think it was Tyreek Hill.
But the
So-
game was stopped by the referees.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's why they couldn't get off. But then when they finally got to run the play, it was a delay of game because they had the extra time and the doofus still couldn't get the play. And in the play that he did call, we got to see it wouldn't have worked anyway. 4th and 6, the rookie Skyler, whatever his name is, just
Thompson.
barely misses the throw. What a series of buffoonery by that guy exposed himself as an offensive coach in the league. He's not a head coach. He will be fired within 2 years, and he'll make his way as an offensive coordinator throughout the NFL and have a lengthy career running offenses. But he's not a head coach. Just exposed himself.
So can he get fired and we can hire him? Can he get into the offensive coordinator carousel right now? No.
Well,
Sure.
not to mention he's currently in an all-out cold war with Robert Saleh for the douchiest coach on the sideline, okay, in the NFL. Those two are battling it out week after week in the AFC East for who's going to win.
You don't like Robert Saleh's beanies?
I don't like it. No.
That Mike McDaniel fall from grace is something that is not being talked about enough. The praise that he was getting to start and the goofy press conferences that he had and the dad jokes and just he pissed me off from the front. And
Well,
I'm glad that it I would have liked to
Was
see
it
the
spite?
Bills lose more. Yeah, I might live through spite.
I know.
So despite seeing the Bills lose was higher than watching McDaniel fail, but it was close. Either way, I was satisfied. It was fine. It was a good day.
I mean, also, you could toot your own horn because the bright lights are on Josh Allen again. He pumpkined.
You worried about the Bills? Should the Bills be worried?
Yeah. I think they lose this weekend.
Bobby?
Yeah, I think they should be worried. Yeah, 2 weeks in a row they've played bad.
Yeah, I've talked about this. They play down to their competition, and it takes them a little bit to ramp back up, and you can't do that in the playoffs. So they dropped down to Miami's level, and they took their foot off the gas, and now they got to walk in and play Ray's big ball Joe Burrow, and
Yeah, but
And
he's
see
also
what they do.
forcing a
based
lot.
off of
Something's
hitting
wrong.
bombs to Diggs.
And there's also something wrong with him, too, because he's forcing everything.
well, they
Josh
don't
Allen
run the
is.
ball. They don't
Yeah.
run an offense. They
Well, no,
they just
they've been
give it to
running
Josh
him.
Allen and make him make plays. It's
Yeah.
the Ben Roethlisberger method.
In like 2 years, he's going to be like Cam Newton and not be able to move because he gets crushed every game because he just throws his body around.
But he
Yeah,
doesn't
and
have-
say what you want. I mean, incredible plays, the stuff that he does, keeping plays alive right into the last second with the arm strength to just flick it 60 yards. But that has bit him at. You can't do that in the playoffs. You just can't. You just can't. It's been my book on Josh Allen from the get-go. Raymond, you know that I've said that. I've been wrong about him sucking. He's terrific, but
not in the playoffs.
the way that he plays, you can't do that consistently in the playoffs and win. Giants Vikings 31-24, just another loser franchise. Classic Vikings not showing up. Kirk Cousins with one of the worst decisions / throws I've seen maybe ever. Fourth down, your playoff
7.
chances. 4th and 7, he throws it 2 yards. Just kind of pathetic. Another Vikings performance.
I mean, another loser franchise, you would say, right?
Yeah, never won a Super Bowl, been in the league for over 60 years or whatever.
Oh, probably more than that. But yeah, Kirk Cousins. I mean, you like that? No, because you can't get it done, man.
How about
Dayball's coach of the year.
I wouldn't argue that. How bad does that make Joe Judge look?
Bad. He takes Daniel Jones, who was basically he was getting into be a professional cornhole because he thought he was going to be out of the NFL.
Now signing extension.
Yeah,
Is that true?
yeah, he plays professional cornhole.
Ooh, we gotta get the girls back on and find out about that.
And that's not like a sexual innuendo? Like he doesn't do like weird stuff?
Oh, he might do both, but he also plays professional cornhole.
Fair enough. If I was around Joe Judge for a year, I'd probably dip into some weird shit too. Bengals 24, Ravens 17, 98-yard fumble recovery is what it took for the Bengals to win. Almost still blew it on a Hail Mary from the Ravens. Joe Burrow was meh. Joe Burrow was Mac Jones-esque in this game. Just kind of meh. His offensive line is trash. It will continue to be trash. And I'll say this, right? I'll concede the point that Joe Burrow is good this year and was good this year. I think a lot of that has to do with drop-offs from other guys. But my original point in our bet was within 5 years, Joe Burrow will be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And my reasoning of that not happening had nothing to do with Joe Burrow. It had everything to do with the Cincinnati Bengals and them ruining everything good that ever comes to them. They're doing their best to ruin Joe Burrow. They're doing their absolute best with that offensive line and the way that they treat that. And he's still coming out winning. So the dude's a winner for sure. But I'd be a little bit worried about the Bengals.
Also,
I'm more worried about the Bengals than I am the Bills.
Can I ask you a question? No, not ask you a question. I'm going to tell you something. When he is the top 5 quarterback in the NFL and it's all praise and all that, you know that new slap league they have that Dana White's doing, where there's just 2 people, you slap the shit out of each other pretty much. You and Bill have to do that because you were wrong. And that's what I
know.
want.
The bet was $25 and we split it because that's how you handled money bets before that. So no, you can't just like make up a new thing. The
Hold
bet
on.
was $50.
Is this
and
an
we split
amendment?
it.
You're making an
Yeah,
amendment.
you can't
to the bet?
amend the penalty
Yes, I can.
for losing.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Well, you
Okay,
can
then
amend.
I
the
amend
penalty
it. When
for
I'm
losing
wrong,
if
then
the
I don't have
bet's
to do anything.
amended. So let's amend the bet so that Rich could like double or nothing this.
Okay.
Okay,
Amend
in
the
20
bet.
years, Burrow won't be in the league,
I'm not
and
gonna be
I don't.
alive
You don't
in
have to do
20
anything.
Years. I'm gonna have a heart attack.
20 years.
Bobby, you worried about the Bengals?
I mean, what's the difference between
Or
this
should they
team this year and last year's team? They're the
Nothing.
same team. Their offensive line was bad last year. They made it the Super Bowl. So no.
I
would-
love it when Bobby's here.
Well,
Yeah.
what were the Chiefs
Yeah.
last year?
They had Tyreek Hill and one of the best offenses.
The Chiefs
last
were
year.
banged up, and Patrick Mahomes could barely get on the field. That's the difference. The Chiefs are going to go to the Super Bowl.
No. Joe Burrow owned the Chiefs twice last year. Nope.
Joe Burrow, Mahomes didn't have a knee. He pedaled into the Chiefs are better.
See, if you
This
would have
year.
said it's because of his brother and his stupid wife yelling out on the sidelines,
Well,
I
I
would
don't.
agree with that.
I don't live in the
Now-
Twitterverse like you.
Oh, everyone knew about that shit. Come on, don't even talk about that like Twitterverse. Come on. You knew about Brittany and fucking Jackson Mahomes being nuisances and throwing champagne bottles on people or
They were
spraying
being
them.
nuisances. What, Patty can't handle a nuisance in the stadium.
I don't know.
No.
One nuisance throws off the whole
I
game.
don't know if Patrick Mahomes didn't win the Super Bowl because of the Kardashian drama or whatever the fuck you're talking about. What I do know is he barely could throw and didn't have a knee and couldn't run, and the team was behind what they were, and they're better this year. But the Bengals have had their number. They got to get past the Bills first, and I don't think they do. I think they lose to the Bills on Saturday, whenever they play. Cowboys 31, Bucks 14. This is the end of Brady.
It might be because his whole fucking family was there. His mother, father, sisters, everyone was there at that game. So this could be it.
I don't think so. I think he wants to play.
He has to probably because of the money that he lost in that crypto.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of money in that FTX deal. Although
Yeah.
Fox is, what is it, like $375 million deal waiting for him in
It's
Fox?
like
or something?
25 million a year or something.
I
like
don't
that.
even know if that's true. It just seemed like that came out of thin air.
That just makes up what he lost. He's got to play some more years to make some extra cash.
I don't want to see him go out like that. That was bad. I think that there's some landing spots for him if he wants to play, and I think he does want to play. I think he'll be back. I don't think he'll be back in Tampa. I don't think he wanted to be back in Tampa this year. That was half the problem. And then his
Sounds
wife
like
left
it.
him.
It sounds like there's a shit storm coming in Tampa. They just fired 9 assistants.
They
down
wanted
there.
to blow it up last year, and the
Yeah.
only reason they didn't is because Brady was
Brady
there, and
came
I'm
back.
sure they wanted to sell tickets. Brady probably told them, "Blow it up, let me out of my contract. I'm out. I'm good." And they were like, "No, like, So I think that was certainly motivation was part of the reason. He was going to Kraft's wedding the night before a game, all that shit.
Oh yeah.
If
He
he
gone for
can
3 weeks. What it was training camp?
he left in training camp, the middle of
Yeah.
training camp for 3 weeks to
Hey,
try
guys,
to
That was
I'm
put
out.
marriage
divorce
together.
related. That
Yeah.
was divorce related.
A lot of L's for Brady this year. I think he comes back. I think he comes back motivated and it probably has a decent year, whether it's the Raiders or whatever. Saints. Who knows?
Tennessee.
How about the Cowboys? You believe in the Cowboys?
Yeah, because I think they're gonna knock Purdy out of the playoffs this weekend. That defense is fast. I mean, even though like the Tampa Bay offensive line was beat up, that defense was quick. Brady had no time to throw, and Dak
Yeah.
just had to manage the game. That's all he had to do.
Good players, but they'll find a way to fuck it up.
Dak did more to manage the game. He probably had his best game as a pro.
Yeah, he didn't
He
fuck
was
it up.
dialing it up. Over under interceptions next week for Dak, 2.5.
Under.
I'll go over. I bet you Dak has a shit fucking game next week and they lose with 17 points. I don't trust Mike McCarthy. I don't trust Dak Prescott. I don't trust the Cowboys. It was their first playoff win in 30 years.
And they were celebrating like they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's over. They're done. 49ers going to fucking walk all over them. Speaking of the next round, divisional round, that is cool, though. Seeing the 49ers Cowboys in the playoffs, just from our
Nostalgia.
youth, our nostalgia. That's a cool color clash. I'm excited to watch that game.
Oh, so the Jags and Chiefs don't really get anything for you?
Yeah, the Jags and just the Jaguar. It's just like, oh god.
Jags and Chiefs, unless it's Mark Brunell back there slinging it around in 96. Jags aren't really exciting anymore.
Keenan McCardell out there fucking catching those bombs from him.
Yeah, no, he's going to be calling plays for New England.
Weird.
Giants Eagles. Giants Eagles is that's always good. That's always a fun one.
I think the Giants beat them.
Could be the upset watch. Jalen Hurts is hurt. Eagles haven't played well in a number of weeks. Giants are hot. You got a divisional matchup. Upset alert.
Going for an NFC East to NFC title game.
Ooh, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
That'd be a ratings juggernaut for
Although
Mr.
Giants
Goodell.
49ers will get a lot of 49-year-old, 48-year-old football fans, wieners going. An 80s matchup between the 49ers and Giants. And then last year, Bengals and Bills. Looks like we are heading for AFC championship game in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Which we haven't touched on. I'll do it real
Thanks,
quick before we
NFL.
move on.
No, it's not going to happen. Don't worry.
What a money grab. What a money grab that was. I don't know if you guys read the article on SimplifySports.com that I wrote, but Goodell and his cronkies, basically the entire NFL, all the owners got to vote on where they would hold the AFC championship game as a neutral site because of the heart attack from Hamlin there in the Bengals-Bills game. Everybody that wasn't involved or potentially involved voted to do it in the place that would make the most money. That's essentially what it came down to. The Bills and the Bengals specifically said, or Chiefs and Bengals specifically said, outdoor grass neutral site. I think the Bills abstained. They were just too mentally fried.
Yeah,
Their mental health was just too fragile at that point to think about a couple weeks down the line. And then whoever else might have been in play, whatever other AFC team, had similar thoughts to the Bengals and the Chiefs. Everybody else said, nope, fuck you. Wherever we get the most money, put it there.
Exactly.
What a sham. What a goddamn sham this league has become.
And isn't Detroit better because it's like closer proximity to Kansas City and Buffalo?
Yeah,
Now
but
you go to
they're
Atlanta.
That would have been really close to Buffalo.
They were worried about flights. They were worried about inclement weather getting to the airport in Atlanta.
They also worried about fucking people going to Detroit and getting murdered.
Well, that's racist. Quick break.